I'm going to be working on one of the gratitude pages in my art journal. Today the gratitude that I wanted to write in here is about my art books and how I am grateful to have them because they help me to learn about art and they help me to express myself, and it's just a extra thing that it's not like a necessity, but it's something that I'm grateful that I get to have in my life, and especially as an artist. So I chose this page with the colors on it for this one, and mostly I want to write, but I'll just do a process of adding some more color around the outside. I have my little watercolor palette. This is I don't remember, Pastel Dreams watercolor palette. I wanted to use something small because I felt like the other palette that I have is a little too big for today. So I'm just going to be adding color around the edge here. This palette doesn't have the same colors as the other one that I used to make this, but I can use what I have. And I'll kind of make blocks or little shapes like this. Okay. And I'll leave a space on the inside of the page so that I can write out my words. Okay. So I'm choosing blue. I'm mixing a little bit of green here. Even though it's a little bit different than these, I do have some red, pink, and orange. That'll be mixing over here. I know it's off the screen, but I have a totally different setup now. Oh dear. I'm just trying my best to just roll with things, and that's all I can do. Okay, so I've got 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom, and I'll probably just put some narrow marks along the side. And I've never used this setup to make a page, so hopefully this will work out and you'll get an idea of how I make simple patterns. For my background. I'm just mixing some colors off on the side here. I'd really like to get a nice blue, but that's okay. I'll just use that one. Okay, that's gonna be it for this page, and then I'm going to let it dry, and I will add some text after it dries. In the meantime, while that's drying, I wanted to talk about the fabric pages in the journals. And these are not the only journals that I made that have fabric pages in them. And I wanted to just give you some ideas on how I use them. This is one of the small handmade journals that I was showing in another video. And inside I have, just like on mine, it's drying right now, but I have these fabric pages, this soft fabric, and then I have pages made out of this rough fabric. I think it's called burlap. And so when I work with those pages, if I want the edge to stop fraying, I personally don't mind if the edges are frayed, but if you want to, you can use a bead of school glue and run it along the edge of the fabric, okay? You're going to let that dry, and then once it's dry, it won't fray any more than it already is. Another glue you can use is a clear fabric glue or craft glue. The same thing, you want to take the tip of it and run it, just a little glue, just a little goes a long way, across the edge of the fabric. If you don't have those on hand, you can also use a glue stick. I would definitely not recommend the purple ones, the washable school glue, because lately when I use it, it takes a long time for it to dry and to dry clear on the fabric. I typically will use it to hold fabric pieces in place when I'm working with slow stitching or things like that. But like I said, lately for some reason the color changing, it goes on purple and then it dries clear, but for some reason it has been taking quite a while for it to dry clear. So now I've been using these glue sticks. I'll open it, and it's a white glue stick inside and it dries clear. Okay, so it's hard to see when it goes on. That's one of the reasons why I like to use the school glue, because the color changing school glue, because of my eyesight. But in this instance, I use the clear, and I just take the edge. I'll show you. I'm not gonna glue this one because this is for my shop, so I don't someone might, if they purchase it, they might not want that. So I just take it and I run the very tip along the edge, and it seals those fibers so that they don't continue to fray and unravel. So those are 3 different ways that you can keep it from unraveling, and it's the same thing with these. Now these I already used. This is the burlap page, and I have already used this on these books. I used it, but not on my personal copy. I took the bead and I ran it across, and I ran it over here, and I'm pretty sure I used the beacon glue, and I ran it across the edge and I let it dry. And obviously you want to put a paper behind it. You don't want to be gluing things together, since it has these little holes. You can put a piece of paper behind it, okay, on this page, since it lays open like that. Then you want to paper clip this side down, this side here, you want to paper clip that down and put your glue across and just let it dry. This craft glue, clear craft glue, dries pretty quickly. So you can just do all of your pages in one day easily. But like I said, you want to put a paper behind it. And now that I'm mentioning that, I also wanted to say that about any journal that you're working in, maybe you want to add some coffee staining, maybe you want to add some paint, water, like a light watercolor wash, put a piece of paper behind it. If you're concerned about the media going through the page, you want to put a piece of paper, a scrap paper, whatever, behind where you're working, and then continue to work. And say, for example, you're working on these 2 pages. You want to put that paper, scrap paper, behind here, and then you're going to take the other scrap paper and put it behind here. Now you have a surface to work on. Okay, and I'm just saying that, obviously it's probably common sense, but I just wanted to mention it while I was talking about this. And one thing I do with my books also is I attach paper clips. I'll show you. You just saw my other book. I'll show you right here real quick. I attach paper clips to the back pages, and I literally, if I'm working with a book, I literally just keep them in here on the edge, so that they're always with my book, whatever book I need them with. I have a hard time sometimes remembering where I place things. If if I'm working with lots of different books. So I keep the paper clips attached to the back so they have them when I'm ready to work. I can just grab it from the back, attach it to whatever page I'm working on, and then like I'm ready to go. Normally I have two, so I'll have one for each side. So yeah, and also I was gonna mention also the scrap paper. I will fold it up and stick it in the back also. You'll always see things like that. Like if you ever see my videos about me working in my books, you'll see like these random pieces of paper and stuff sometimes falling out, and it's only because like I keep everything with my book so that when I need it, it's right there. I don't want to have to waste time when I'm thinking, oh, I want to work in my book. I don't want to have to go all around gathering things to do it. So I hope that helps. I definitely wanted to give you the tip about stopping the fray on the edge with the glue, and also putting the paper behind as you're working. And I'm gonna go back to my other page in my book and write some gratitudes in there. So on some of the pages I just wrote, let's see, I'll flip through some of these. I just wrote like a couple of words, and about what I was grateful for. Some I wrote a little bit longer sentences. On this page, I think what I'll do is write why I'm grateful for my art books. Let's see, I'm looking for a spare piece of paper. Okay. Things that my art books enable me to do is explore. And if you've watched any of my videos this year, I've just been crazy about hearts. I mean, there's hearts on everything. It's like, put hearts everywhere. Sorry if that sounded scary. Okay. So I just wrote down explore new ideas. They help me to learn skills, and I get to enjoy the beauty other artists have created. So that's how I feel, and that's what I think about my art books and why I'm grateful for them. I hope you liked seeing this process. It's super duper simple, and that's what I want to encourage people to do if they can, to enjoy their art and their supplies in a simple way that's accessible to most people. And it's really helpful to me, and I'm sure it would be helpful to others. So that's why I'm still working on this. I've been working on it all year, here and there. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope you like the tips also about the fabric pages, and I will see you next time.